sometimes I need to like, I don't always have an answer right away. I gotta think about this. And then like a week later, all right, here's what we can do. Like if it's something like low priority, obviously if it's higher priority, um, you gotta move a little bit faster than that. But
Hmm.
usually things aren't high priority. You just think that they are.
Right.
So you can take your time, make mistakes, or take your time and think about it so you don't make mistakes.
Sure.
Or hurry up and make mistakes and then you learn faster.
Sounds good.
Maybe by the time you choose to do it the wrong way and then you fix it, you're done faster than waiting and think about it.
This is the Farm Hop Life Podcast, a traveling homestead family. I'm Matt DeRosier. On the Farm Hop Life Podcast, we learn what it takes to grow your own food from everyday people. Could be a college student, grows tomatoes and salad greens on their apartment patio, a former VP of marketing for Del Taco now raising cattle in Montana, or someone who hasn't had a homestead in over 10 years. This show is aimed at teaching you what it takes to make homesteading work for you, that we all make mistakes, we all have bad days, but we can reach out and help one another thrive, and giving you the confidence needed to go feed yourself.
Hi Scott, how are you?
Good, Matt. What's up?
Just at work in a hotel room in Wyoming.
We took to Wyoming.
It's another project. So I think I need to explain a little bit about what I do because you seem to think that I'm in oil and gas, and so does Agora Crops. Because I said something about go like, hey, maybe I'll have a job in wherever state he is, and he's like, yeah, there's not too much oil in said state, and I go, I'm not in oil. I'm on oil rigs. It's not the same thing.
I know what you do. I just know that
Okay,
you were at Crazy Horse, Alaska, there for a while.
dead
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah.
There's the crazy horse, Montana.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I there is an oil and gas division to our company, but that's not me. It's not part. That's not the part I'm in.
Yeah, you do the whatever that device is you were talking about that monitors flow, right?
So it's fiber optic cable and a 1/4 inch steel stainless steel like cable, and it can monitor temperature, acoustics, stress, for a wide variety of stuff, and a lot of it's been like a lot more carbon capture stuff lately, and so
Sure.
they put like you know the drilling rig is already a piece of equipment that exists, so they're not like trying to reinvent the wheel. They're just modifying existing stuff so they can just use all the same whatevers. But like our stuff can people want to like monitor all sorts of weird stuff like landfills, data centers. The project that I'm on now is for a geothermal energy project in going on in Utah, and that install will be sometime in July. So it's gonna be
You're allowed
crazy,
to,
crazy project.
you're allowed to talk about that without getting
Oh yeah,
NDA or whatever.
yeah. One, I don't have an NDA, and two, they have a web page on it. It's the Utah Forge Project, FORGE Forge,
Okay.
put on by like the University of something and somebody else, and a couple people are involved. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy, crazy project where like they do one well that they're gonna inject whatever fluid, and then they have another well parallel to it, and they're gonna use the fractures in the rock to make that loop um, geothermal energy instead of like doing it, uh, like I guess engineered loop. They're using the rock to do it, which is kind of nuts. So it's like the whole like Department of Energy is involved, and it's a big, big project. So
Wow.
yeah.
Interesting. Cool.
So yeah, I screwed up my schedule this week, and so I was like, hey, what do you want to talk about? and you gave me a big list, and then you changed the list, and I said, nope, we're going back to the first list because I already made notes.
Great.
So spring plans. Let's start with you. What are your spring plans?
Well, today I took the day off and I replaced the fence that the deer compromised. So, and it was all overgrown in trees and stuff like that. So it took quite a bit of work. And then I've been planting a lot of trees and getting beds ready to go. What
You
about you?
said beds?
Yeah. Planting beds, right?
Yeah. I can't remember. Do you have a row garden or do you have raised beds?
I have both, but they're mostly row garden.
Gotcha. All right. What kind of are you planting anything? Excuse me, anything new this year?
So far, I've planted onions, potatoes, kale, and greens.
Nice.
And then I
What was
just done. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna ask, what was the name of that cut and come again lettuce that you like?
Yeah, it's black seeded Simpson.
Black seeded Simpson. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I planted a bunch of that. I cleared out. I have 3 goji berry bushes that I haven't trimmed in the last few years, and so they everywhere where they touched the ground, they started new bushes up. So I thinned those out, and I ended up with 27 plants
Oh my gosh.
plus the original 3. So yeah, I moved them and put some in pots and put some in barrels and buckets and everything else. So
Are you just propagating them or are you gonna sell them?
I'll sell some of them. Yeah, and then I
What,
moved some of them to other places in the garden.
what does a goji berry plant go for these days?
I don't know, $10,
Oh, nice. Good.
or $20. Yeah, I mean they're not very big because they're trimmed back, but they're about 6 inches tall.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah. What about you?
So I had shared my new garden design that I'm not prepared for this part, but I'll try to I'll try to share it quickly anyways.
Okay.
Um, here it is. Flip in, share screen. This one, this one. So this is my new design here for I got my garden 20 by 20 with 22 raised 2 by 4 raised beds, something like that. And then I've got the chicken coop over here, and I've got double doors, so I can just open up the doors and then push all the wood chips after the season.
Right.
Push all the wood chips into the garden and soak them, and so they're all the wood chips are right there to be made into compost. And I could put in the garden beds. I don't have to basically run around my house to be able to put that in. And then there's like a little coop, like a little chicken door on the other side, and there's like the run area. Um, and then there's a double door on the other side as well, so I can when I have a truckload full of wood chips, I can just go back it up straight into the chicken coop and go
Wow.
go direct. Yeah, and then I've got external egg collection on the side here, closest to the house, so we can be ultimately lazy.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, thanks. I'm hoping. I'm thinking about doing so I wanted them all 2 foot by 4 foot raised beds. So like when I build cold frames, they all just fit. It doesn't matter which one goes there; they all fit.
Mm-hmm.
I might put if you look, I might put like the posts on the outside of the bed instead of having them like in it. So I might make it actually like another foot bigger
Right.
and run the fencing on the inside of the post instead of the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have the nice corners on the inside to put the raised beds into. That's kind of my only detail that I was thinking about when I was sketching this up. But yeah,
arched doorways coming in too?
That will be like cattle panels
Oh, I see.
and have something planted outside and growing up them, and it's going to be like a little
It's the
like a gateway into our garden. It's going to look sweet, and then the little arches on the inside are also for like trellis things. And I've got bird baths in here. Someone's like, what are the stools? And I'm like, they're bird baths. And then they said, you don't want, you know, migratory birds near your chickens for disease, and that might be a valid point.
yeah. The first thing I saw there, it looked like subway turnstiles. So you're doing the tunnel, the squash tunnel like Grant Payne.
Uh, kind of. I haven't thought about the squash. I was thinking more. I was gonna have a separate area in the front yard for more just like root vegetables and just let them sprawl like zucchini, cucumber, melon. What else? What else are we gonna plant there? Lots of pumpkin and squash. Um, yeah, we saved some pumpkin seeds from last year, and they're like massive, massive pumpkins that we bought. So
That's
hopefully they take. Yeah. So I'll have like raised bed garden, and then across the other side of the driveway have kind of just root vegetable garden over that way.
great. That sounds
Yeah. So there's that. Um, Planted some trees over the weekend, but they were pine trees, and it took me all day to dig 8 holes. Because, well, one, juggling kids, trying to keep them entertained. They need they've got they got to eat, unfortunately. But like just digging, I swear I dug out as much rock as I did dirt out of these I don't know, 12-inch diameter, 2 foot deep holes to
yeah.
plant the trees. And I'm hoping that the pine trees I just got from my neighbor. They're growing in her garden.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want them in there, but she also has a lot of rock because we live on the same hill. So I have to pull out all these rocks to get the pine trees out, but the pine trees are going to be up against the road. And so I did like dirt compost soak, dirt compost, plant the tree. Because hers were growing actually on a hill, like quite a steep incline. They're all like wonky, right? From where how the roots are growing. And so I would put rocks around them to try to guide them and grow them straight, and then put mulch around that. So there's not mulch directly at the base, like on the trunk of the tree, at least like little saplings.
Right.
So I'm hoping that works and not rock, because you don't want to make it like a volcano, right? You want to have it thick on the outside.
Multiple was never the way to go.
No. And then on the trees, I've got something like 30 trees I'm hoping to pick up in the next week or two.
Mm-hmm.
One's from a local nursery, and another is from Coldstream Farms. I tried ordering from there for the first time.
Michigan.
Oh, yeah. And so hopefully they who knows when that stuff will come in. It says spring, whatever that means.
Right. Yeah, they don't defrost until May, so you won't see them until after that.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So
I guess
I've ordered from them before. I have a bunch of hazelnuts from Coldstream Farm.
okay. So expect them in May, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I guess that's all right.
Into May.
The local nursery is supposed to have their shipment in on Saturday, and so I have to figure out if they have what I want, because I'm like, hey, I want this much of this kind and this much of this kind. They're like, okay, we can write that down, and we'll see what happens, like what shows up on the truck. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, we'll order 50 of one kind and maybe get 10. And so It's
Really?
they've had problems from their supplier or something like that. So
Right, right.
I, it's like a nice request form on what on what it is that you want. But I'm starting to plant a hedgerow
Mm-hmm.
from where my property like it's not really a cliff. It's a steep embankment.
Sure.
So start planting that, and I got to do it in sections because I don't have quite the like infrastructure of water here,
Mm-hmm.
and so I got to really focus on my waterings. That um, let's focus on like 100-foot section here this year, and then do a 200 like do another 100-foot section the following year, that kind of thing.
Right, right.
Get them established. So that was one of the tips from that property evaluation that guy that I had over on property.
Oh, cool. Good.
Yeah, from some locusts, which I heard ruminants can't eat. And like it's poisonous to people, so that's cool. Um, I didn't know that. I just liked them because they had flowers and they were thorny, and so it's like don't go over there.
Do you want? Oh, you're making it so it's a hedge,
Mm-hmm.
impenetrable hedge. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll hopefully provide some windbreak too. So I got two different kinds of locusts, Siberian pea shrub, and Rosa rugosa is the three kinds that I got planned for that.
You'll have to keep that mode because the locust will send out some sprouts, and then your whole yard will end up being thorny.
Think so?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Good to know. I'm learning as I go. I heard it's difficult to get locusts established here because they got a deep taproot, and they're pretty thirsty trees. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I was gonna set up a drip line and just
That's
water the whole damn thing.
Yeah, sounds good. Some people use them for firewood, do a whole firewood stand,
Sure.
plant them close together, and then once they get to the point, like Ben Falk does that, and once they get to the point where they're about as thick as your forearm, then he cuts it and makes it into firewood.
Hmm.
And then
I don't have anything wood burning. Like I don't have a wood burning stove or anything.
right, yeah, just an option, but yeah,
Yeah.
for the apocalypse, the eschaton, like Cyprian was talking about.
Yeah. Eschaton. I still barely understand what he's talking about, but that's fine. I'll just plant trees, tend livestock, and grow a garden.
Yeah,
Um,
formula.
what's that?
That's the formula.
That's the formula. Uh, we moved our garden beds. So like I had that goofy little video of like us like picking up the raised beds and like walking them over to like a new area. Well, I left all the fill behind. So I gotta put that in a wheelbarrow and put it back in, but also like add more material because like it sinks over time. That and I've been stealing from it for these trees that I'm planting. So I gotta end up getting more. But I'm finishing I'll be finishing my compost here from I raked out all the chicken, like the deep litter from the chicken coop,
Right.
soaked it. How long has it been? I had a late start on it, so it's probably only been a month. I probably have another month or two to go. But my last frost date's not until like June 7th. So
Wow. June 7th. That's amazing.
yeah.
Where are you?
What zone? 5.
Oh, 5. Yeah. Yeah, I met
Yeah.
the Scott Little Pine farmer from Colorado, and he's in zone 4, way up at 8,000 feet. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go see him tomorrow actually.
what? Really?
Yeah. So I can't from Missoula, I can't fly to Cheyenne. I don't think anybody can fly to Cheyenne. So I had to fly to Denver and then drive north to get to Cheyenne, to where this test, this mock-up test is, where that I had to do today actually. Went well, thanks for asking. So tomorrow, going back to Denver, picking up a buddy of mine in Castle Rock, and then we're driving to Scott's place, and
Yeah.
we're gonna drop some trees, I guess, and stay the night, and then head back Saturday morning, fly home.
That's cool.
So yeah, I'm excited. It was when I flew into Denver yesterday, it was 80 degrees here. It was so stupid hot, and thankfully tomorrow it's supposed to snow. Looking forward to that.
No.
I'm looking forward to snow.
Yeah.
I'm a baby in the heat.
I've flown into Colorado before and then gone north up by Fort Collins, and it's like 110 degrees. And I'm like, wait, this is Colorado. It's not supposed to be like this. And,
Yeah.
it's not too bad when I got up in the mountains, but yeah, that front range is brutal.
Yeah, it's something. Oh, spring plans. Keeping going on that. Last thing is that we've got new layers coming in June. I suppose that's summer, but we got to prepare. We got to prepare for new layers. So I'm just doing this,
right?
Yeah, straight run of Rhode Island Reds. So we're going to turn half of them are going to be roosters. So we'll just raise them for meat and then put them in the freezer.
Right.
Then we'll have 12 or so, and that's enough.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna mess.
You check them and see. You getting chicks or what are you getting?
Yep, just chicks.
Right.
Yeah, I ain't gonna miss all the different colored eggs, because right now we got like some like bluish ones and some really dark browns and some like regular brown ones. Like the variety's kind of nice. Like it looks nice in the egg carton, but
Sure.
I don't know, the ones that I've got now, they piss me off, and I don't even know if it's fair to like, if I'm even being fair, if they even really deserve to get rid of. But they're getting old too.
Yeah.
2
Graduate.
years is too old. They're older birds are too stringy though.
Yeah. That's where you put them in a pot.
They're still stringy, kind of gross.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just make a bunch of chicken nuggets in the blender. Haven't you made homemade chicken nuggets?
No.
It's super easy. It's chicken, like you cut it up and like into a cubit, right?
Sure.
Chicken, egg, and cheese. That's it.
No, I thought you were gonna say you throw the skin in there too or something, but yeah.
No, they said not to do the skin.
Yeah, I saw somebody who put that into their recipe, and I was like, "Oh no!" But okay, well that's not so bad.
Yeah, they're pretty tasty. You could probably. Oh, my wife seasoned them too, like a little bit like salt, pepper, paprika, maybe like a little bit of garlic and mustard too, I think. So
Sure.
yeah, it was good. We'll just have lots and lots of chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
They freeze okay, actually, after you make them.
Uh-huh.
You like put them in like the oven or air fryer, and then you can freeze them.
Yeah.
Save them for later.
Yeah, we don't have an air fryer, so. But yeah, we got sex link chickens from the store, which are red sex links. They're supposed to be all females. And I think they made a mistake because I'm already looking at them and there's at least 2 of them that are males.
Just from like Tractor Supply?
Yep.
Gotcha.
So, but it literally said, red sex links, and they were all in there by themselves. And then, nope. So I'm looking at them, and I'll put an article out on Thriver News about, sexing the chickens by the wings. In the feather.
You can sex them by the wings?
Oh yeah. So
I don't know.
yeah,
I've never had to do that.
I did that last year, and then I've got an article about that, and then I'll do a follow up this year with the new chickens, and yeah, you can see. So the females, the heads have even at like 2 weeks, already have a really uniform, you take their wing and you spread it out. They have a really uniform, whatever it's concave, convex, whatever that is, curve that's not,
On the underside.
yeah. That's not broken, right? The bottom part of the feathers. So they're all uniform, but the males have like about halfway, they have a, like an indentation, and then they'll have feathers that are in the middle of the wing that are not the same length as the others. And last year it was almost 100% accurate. So
Wow.
yeah, I'll send you the
Is
link.
that for all breeds?
The ones that I tested, yeah.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I'll check that out.
So yeah, we have
I
these
think it's new chicks.
supposed to be females, but they don't look right. And then I took a look at them, and yeah, that looks like a male. And two of them, like 2 out of the 4, look like they're males.
So what are you gonna do?
Give them away, tell them,
Like,
or some whatever.
so you're gonna try to get 2 new females from Tractor Supply? Like,
No, they don't care. So
okay.
yeah, no. I have one male that I hatched out of 6, which we call Smudge, because he hates because he looks. So the other ones, they have these really neat patterns. They're Wyandottes mixed with Buff Orpingtons. So they're kind of yellow, and then they've got, like, one of them looks like it has oil drops on its head and then stripes down its back.
Weird.
But it's still a female. But then there's another one that looks like somebody took their thumb and just ran that down the back and smudged it. So I've been calling him Smudge ever since they've been hatched. And so, yeah, looks like he's probably a male.
Though you got to keep Smudge. You can't get rid of Smudge.
Yeah, I don't know. So my wife's not so hot on Smudge mating with the other potential brothers and sisters or something. So yeah, Perpin and I did in our episode a month ago where we said you could do that up to a certain amount of generations. It's not a big deal. It's safe up to 4, but
Sure.
They're like little people. We can't do that. So, they're brother and sister, mom and dad. Yeah, okay.
They're also chickens.
Yeah. So, but
That's funny.
it's funny.
So one of your other things that you want to talk about here is keeping positive in a world gone insane.
Yeah.
Is listening to this show or your show a way to keep positive?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, basically, how are you going to keep positive? And the news is just crazy every single day, right? And then what are some of the tips? I see some of the tips that you have here. So what are the tips that you use?
I don't watch the news. I actually get mad that news comes across like in my Twitter feed, and I've been thinking about writing like some sort of like comment like, I like you guys, but way too many people's names that just do not deserve any sort of recognition. Like, I don't even want to repeat their stupid names, but like this famous person because of blah, 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 or this famous person because of blah, 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 or this podcaster or blah, blah, blah. Like, why do you know so many people's names that are just not that important? Like, why? I don't get it.
Sure. Yeah. So one of the things is like, and Elon even tweeted this week. He said, basically, if you tweet the things you're outraged on, you're going to see more of it. So you have all these folks that are, that are Christians that are upset about trans, or they're upset about whatever else. And, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with trans, but basically,
Yeah.
They're upset, right? And then they tweet it. And I'm like, will you stop tweeting it? All you're doing is causing it to show up.
Right. Right.
Follow you, then I get it too. And
Exactly.
really don't care about Bud Light or whatever, and I just don't care.
Yep.
And,
Yeah, exactly.
or then I find out, somebody's like in the news and I'm like, I don't even know who that person is.
Yeah. Why is this important? Like that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So, I mean, what I had to do was, and Instagram is just ridiculous. So, I got on Instagram so that I could increase the traffic to the podcast on the website, right? And
yeah.
so I'm following homestead and gardening hashtags groups, right?
Yep.
And then there's a remarkable amount of these garden and homestead women that are also have OnlyFans sites,
Oh no.
and I'm like, garden, 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 what? So no. So I try and limit it to get on there, post my thing about the podcast or whatever, and then get off of it because it's just distracting. So,
Yeah. I I I, I gotta figure out like a better balance because I just like scroll and like see like what's of interest, like what can I learn, how could I be helpful, but it's just more like doom scrolling than anything.
right.
Um,
I'm getting a
so
lot more out of our Telegram group, both the Thriving the Future group and then also the other one.
underground.
Yeah, the underground one. And so, and just for you feds out there, it doesn't mean what it sounds like. Um,
It's exactly what it sounds like.
right,
I
exactly.
think somebody labeled themselves or like the whole group as like hippie conservatives or something like that. And
Yeah, but we're all
I,
talking
I,
about,
I didn't care for that.
I mean, we're all talking about gardening, right? So one of the reasons,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, one of the
That's
reasons,
why we love fertilizer so much, right?
yeah, and one of the reasons that uh, Perpin and I started our own Telegram group and part of the podcast was because all of the other ones were just sharing memes, and I'm like, I know you dude, I know you personally, and you have all these cool things you're doing on your land, and you're posting stupid memes of other people's content. I'm like, post what you're doing on your land. Come on,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I'm just like, it puzzles me. It's too much work. Is it too much work? You know?
It can be. That's why I get lazy with someone like my content. I just like throw up my camera, time lapse, just do the work and just
That's cool.
find a little song to go with it. Like I think it sometimes it takes longer to find a song than it does to like edit the damn thing.
Yeah, I like your quotes when you do that. That's cool. I need to figure out how to set my camera on my phone up so that it'll do time lapse. Or do you do that post?
It helps to do it on your phone because the file sizes are going to be smaller. Because if you just do like a straight video, that's like even like a 5 minute video takes up like a ton of space. And so if you just set it for like, I don't know, take a picture every 10 seconds, 30 seconds. Like if you know you're going to be there a while, it could be like every 60 seconds. And so, and then you could also, you could always make it like take a longer video. Like let's say like my time lapses,
Right.
like, hey, this is kind of interesting, blah, 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 whatever. But you're not going to lose anything by making it twice the speed. So it's like, and plus I try to shoot for like, okay, it's a 30-second time lapse or whatever of me, well, whatever, doing stuff. Cause like, why is this like a 42-second video? Like just cram it down to 30 seconds or something like that. Like, I don't know if there's anything to it and like the stupid little algorithms, but whatever. 30 seconds sounds better than 42.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to do that because that was pretty cool. I like that effect you're doing.
Thanks. Doing like the other thing is if you're switching camera angles, so like it keeps them more engaged.
Mm-hmm.
So like there was another video I did. I can't remember what I was doing, but I went to like I was working at night and I turned my headlamp one direction. Like I kind of thought about how I wanted to like film it. I turned my headlamp one direction, and then from that same direction, like I the camera switched and I came. I don't know. It flowed is what I'm trying to say. Is it wasn't like trying to zip back and forth
Mm-hmm.
at all. Nice like visually appealing flow to the video, but I can't remember how I did it. So
Yeah, I like that effect a lot.
yeah. What do you what kind of things do you do for keeping positive in a world gone insane?
Well, limit the time, right? And then I find myself not. I find myself double checking or self censoring myself, right? This is this typical, or is this just complaining, or is this bringing value? Is this post bringing value, or is this comment bringing value, or is it just me too, or or whatever else, right? And so by putting in that kind of you know questions, or it's not really self censoring, but putting a gate on myself, then I can keep it a little bit more positive for stuff that I post.
Um,
How do I keep positive? I go
yeah,
outside. I just go outside and, focus more on the things that I'm doing that make a difference.
but in order to do that, you talk to people that are doing stuff, which gets you motivated to do stuff and like have goals of your own. That helps.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So I think a lot of people just don't have goals on what they want to do. Like the first in the first 20 minutes, like we just talked about goals that you and I have just for the spring, not just spring.
Right.
So
Yeah. And
now if even half of those stuff gets done, whatever.
yeah. Aside from our little 10-minute rant about Elon, everything else is get stuff done.
Yeah, I might cut that out for because it's not terribly relevant, but
Yeah.
that's fine. But yeah, another thing is similar to like not seeing the news is speaking of Little Pine, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
He said something recently about he's like I'm just blocking people. Like I'll have this conversation with you in person, but I do not have the energy for you having whatever BS conversation on Twitter. Like I want to see good people doing good stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
other than that, go away.
Right.
Just to put it nicely.
Yeah, I've had to block some people, even though I like their content. They spend too much time complaining about everybody else. And so it's like, yeah, okay, I understand that's your shtick, but I don't need to do that. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, Scott Little Pine Farmer is on my podcast this weekend, so his episode's next.
Excellent. Looking forward to hearing that.
Yeah,
And
we talk about what we were talking about on the Ben's Forum with you, where he was talking about memetics and genetics.
I hope after listening to that episode of yours, I understand what that means better. Because I still don't really understand what that means.
Yeah, well, basically, memetics is like memes, right? It's
So
it's generating your ideas like genes. You're passing on your ideas, sort of like you pass on your genes to your kids.
sure.
But you're doing it mentally with everything.
Through conversation.
A meme to a conversation to he even had an example of where certain band fans, certain fans of bands, where like they'll have some sort of a handkerchief that has circles on it or something like that, and then you go, hey man, yeah, we're in the tribe together, right?
Yeah.
and it's not juggalos. So
Good.
the juggalos.
How far ahead of, like, do you schedule interviews? Are
uh,
you, are you booked out pretty far
no,
now?
sometimes I'm out 5 weeks, but that's been the farthest I've been. So lately I'm out 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's because I'll do like 2 or 3 interviews in a week, and then I won't do anything for a couple of weeks. So yeah,
I hear you.
but and it all depends on who I can get lined up. I've been, every once in a while I get quite, as I'm starting to move into the bigger names,
Mhm.
it's like, they're either not available or they reschedule or whatever else, right?
Yeah.
So I'm set up, and then someone came up.
Yeah. I actually started going the other way where, like, yeah, if you got a couple thousand followers, like, fine, that's cool. But if you're in like the 10 plus, like, I almost don't even bother
Right.
trying to message unless I'm like super interested. I go for these smaller accounts. I think that's honestly where the some of the best stuff is. But
Yeah.
the problem with that is that they get nervous, right? They don't want, like, I'm not good enough. Like, I don't want to talk about it. And that's been the case like 50% of the time for these people. Like, I started going down my following list of like, hey, what's your garden like? Just trying to get the conversation going. Like, I want to learn more. Like,
Right.
do you want to, can we talk about this? I want to learn from you. And they're like, no, like, I got this one lady. I'm pretty sure I don't know what the gender is. It doesn't matter. But I'm assuming it's a lady. Hey, tell me about your garden, blah, 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 homestead, this and that. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to be on a podcast or whatever. I'm like, did you learn something? Certainly. Can you share it? Yeah, I suppose I could. There you go.
Right.
That's all I want.
Yeah, you can't do so with the other folks that are not the typical podcast guests, right?
Yeah.
Then you can't do the Spirko thing where you say, hey, introduce yourself at the beginning, because they just get wrapped around the axle.
Yeah, I quit doing that.
You do it.
I just roll right into talking.
Yeah.
We'll just
I either
uh,
assume that, look, you either know who this person is already, or we just start talking, and I say, so you got chickens and
yeah.
other stuff, and then I might cut some of that stuff out, but they're talking normal instead of, because some people are like, oh, all of a sudden they're aware that they're getting recorded, right?
Yeah.
And then you get them talking about their garden or whatever else, they relax, and they don't worry about it. But you
Right.
can't do that. Can't do the Spirko intro at all.
And I tried to do the guest form thing. That worked for a little while, and then that it was like a barrier of entry almost.
Right.
People were like didn't fill it out, even though they said they were going to fill it out, and so I just copy and paste my standard template and just send it to them. Just like,
See, I don't do that.
This is what I'm going to ask you.
Right. So I contact people that make an interesting tweet, and I say, hey,
Yeah.
hey, I want you to have you on the podcast. Please consider, and I'd like to talk about this tweet you said, right?
Mm.
And then
So you got a little bit of a focus,
right? And then I say, I want to talk specifically about this, and then
but your timeline's also a lot shorter than mine. You're trying to fill about half an hour, and I'm trying to stretch mine out to about an hour.
yeah, it usually is about 45 minutes to an hour, and then I trim it down.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Oh, and now I got a Patreon, so I stick that extra stuff over on the Patreon.
I'm so bad at doing that kind of stuff. The promoting your own stuff. Like, hey, check out the website. Hey, follow me. Hey, support my whatever. I just I just do like I don't even remember what I said. I end up having everything pre-recorded because I can never do it the same twice.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I don't worry about it, but at the same time, it's like Purpose said, you get to a point where you're leaving money on the table, right? Because there's people that will sign up,
sure.
and and if you give them just a little bit of extra, then they'll be happy. So it's not a lot of money, so do it.
Yeah. It's I'm also going through
A whopping 3 Patreon supporters now.
hey, is your wife one of them?
No.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. I'm at 0 because I haven't done that. Although I am, I was using Chat GPT today to edit my logo. I'm gonna do.
Haven't you listened to Cyprian?
No, I don't. I don't listen to him. Is the thing.
I know. I'm teasing you. So
Just like what did I ask it to do? It was something about colors. Like pick 4. Like I need 4 colors that represent this, that, and this that all work together. Give them to me in like hexadecimal, not hex. Yeah, hex color code.
right.
And so they would be like, here's 4. I'm like, all right, give me another 4, and then give me another 4, and they like were getting worse. Like they were getting like too like pale.
Right.
And I go, all right, now make the colors bold, like bold in the colors, and then give me 5 of them. And so then it just like here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so like I input all because it doesn't show you the colors, right? So I had to copy all of them, put them in like my logo, and like see like how it looked, and like I was like sending it to my wife to see which one she liked, and I think we both picked the same one as our favorite for but yeah, it was kind of a cool way to just instead of like kind of figure out all the colors on your own, just
Yeah. Have you used
hey, which one looks good?
the
How about-
Journey, the AI art?
Yeah, the thumbnail that I have on YouTube for that property valuation, that thumbnail, that like the house in the garden that was used, that's from Midjourney. But I went through like 250 like iterations about like a house with a garden that I liked before I picked that one. So I mean, it's really all like the prompting is really the important part of like asking. Like you got to get specific because if you just like leave it vague, you know, you're gonna get kind of like vague junk back. But if you ask it specific stuff, like the color codes that I was asking for, I was like, I want it. So I got 4 different colors in my logo now. I'm like, well, I'll just do another 4. How about some like colors that represent spring, summer, fall, and winter, right? They all work together. And eventually it came up with something good. So
Cool.
yeah, see how it looks whenever I get around to changing all the things. But
So what's a 2023 project looking like? You got some trips planned in between the work gig?
no, I gotta take it as it comes. Um, like like hitting up Scott's place, right? That was just luck that I had to come to Denver, and he's an hour or 2 away. And so I'm like, hey, can I come crash at your place? We can get a little bit of work done. So I'm counting Scott's place as one of the trips.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
see if I can get because I did like a pilot. I did a pilot episode of 20 by 23 project, and I don't count that as number 1. It was kind of like a shoe in.
That's the one where you did the deer sausage or something. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That we were just cutting up sauces the whole time.
Watch
Yeah,
out.
that one's kind of a shoe in. Yep, the sausage is made. Yeah. So, well, I just gotta. I can't plan too far ahead because things change. Like all this, like I'm home one weekend, but then like come Friday, like I'm gone or something, and it's kind of chaos with the job and everything. Plus, people they can't give too much notice for whatever reason on when they want you there.
Sure.
Just like, hey, how about this weekend? Yeah, I can do this weekend, or like I'll have to just plan my own weekends. Like, all right, let's try to go someplace this weekend, and how about whoever these neighbors?
So are you publishing directly to YouTube, or do you edit it before it goes there? Like, right.
Which oh, this is a recording. I don't do live interviews anymore. Unless the thing is, unless I had like a kind of like a community like Toolman Tim. He's got a good community that engages with like his live videos. I would do that then, but not otherwise.
I need
It's
to.
just it's distracting. I find it distracting. So I'm just sticking to the chats. Actually, I'm going to be on Toolman Tim's show in like a month.
Really? Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, should be fun. He's pretty nice.
I need to reach out to him too.
Yeah, he'd love to be on your show. He's pretty easygoing, and we talked for like an hour and a half, and then like another 45 minutes after we ended, just like he's like, I gotta go, but then we just like kept talking, and because he's crazy busy, but we talked a long time.
That's cool.
He's actually going to be within 3 hours of my house for like one of his speaking engagements.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be out of town that weekend, so damn it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but yeah,
Kansas City airport, then you have to go through there. It's not too far. I'm not too far from that.
depending on what we're doing, I might have to drive certain jobs, but I'll let you know if something comes up that I gotta come to Kansas City.
Okay.
So, but yeah, eventually, your place you're on my list. I just don't know how do I get to the middle of nowhere.
It's not the middle of nowhere.
It's literally the middle of the country.
Yeah. That's
Middle of nowhere.
okay. Cool.
I'll get you. All right. What do you want to wrap on? Building community.
Glass
Do it or die.
glass half empty, glass half full. Which kind of guy are you?
I don't know. I don't know. Which one are you?
Well, it's funny because
I
usually,
was gonna say it depends.
yeah. When I'm at work, it's usually I have boss joke that Scott, there's guys that are half glass half empty. There's guys that are glass half full. You're like the glass is empty. You're just completely pessimistic about everything. I said, no, that's just at work.
That's just how it works. See, it depends.
Yeah,
It works.
if I'm at home, I mean, I'm pretty positive about everything. Okay, so I'm going to put this in. It's probably stupid, but I'm going to put it into the garden and see what happens.
Yeah.
Like we ready to auger, the one-man auger
Yeah.
to help make some holes for trees. And then with clay, that was a complete waste of time. All it did was just clog the bit up immediately, and then I ended up having to use a shovel anyway. It started the hole, and that was about it.
No days.
But yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, that stuff those things are useless here too. Just because you get one little rock in there and it throws you. Like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
the handles will like hit you in the guts and knock the wind out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I hate is doing, so today doing fence was doing T-posts with the T-post driver. And inevitably I get like halfway down and then I'll hit a big rock and it won't go any farther.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, now I gotta wiggle this T-post back out and then move it over and hope I miss the rock. And of course it takes like 15, bangs with the T-post driver before I get back down there and hit the rock again.
That's how you stay in shape. I think I'm mostly glass half full.
Positive, yeah.
But I know, like I'm also like a realist. Like, hey, we can't do this because blah blah blah, but we can do it this other way. Like,
Yeah, that's good.
So
instead of being a no person, it's a no and, right?
Yeah, no but.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just how can we think about this like a little bit different?
Sure.
Yeah, like sometimes I need to like, I don't always have an answer right away. I gotta like, I gotta think about this, and then like a week later, all right, here's what we can do. Like, if it's something like low priority, obviously if it's high priority, you gotta move a little bit faster than that. But usually things aren't high priority. You just think that they are.
Right.
So you can take your time, make mistakes, or take your time and think about it so you don't make mistakes.
Sure.
Or hurry up and make mistakes, and then you learn faster.
Sounds good.
Maybe by the time you choose to do it the wrong way and then you fix it, you're done faster than waiting and think about it.
Right.
Could be. But yeah, cool. Thanks for jumping on with me tonight. So I had something to put out.
Sure, you want me to do my plug?
Yeah, let's do the plugs. That's a good idea, Scott. Glad you said something, because I was just going to say bye. There you go.
Okay, so check out Thrive in the Future podcast. So this is positive solutions to thrive in the tough times ahead, or positive solutions to help you thrive. I changed the tagline, right? Homestead, garden, life, not lifestyle. Oh my God. Homestead, garden, mindset, and designing your intentional life. That's at thriveinthefuture.com and also on your fave podcast app.
So you're a lifestyle coach?
No. Yeah,
garden. Man.
How?
Oh, okay. Is that what your Patreon does?
What?
Your Patreon, you can be a lifestyle gardening coach. Sign up for his Patreon.
Yeah. The Patreon is extras. It's early episodes, and then extras, lots of outtakes, things like that.
Yeah. Well, outtakes funny.
Sometimes.
Or are they just like, okay, I'll just have to subscribe and listen.
No, they're, like I've got 30 minutes of extra stuff I talked to Cyprian about.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
20 minutes of what I talked with Little Pine Farmer about. So, we've been talking a lot about AI and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So,
new.
So very good. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, you're welcome. And for other people, I'm Matt from FarmHopLife. We're a traveling homestead family. I have a podcast. I have a YouTube channel. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. And I've got this 20 by 23 project. So you're going to see some content from me meeting Little Pine Farmer.
Awesome.
This weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, I look forward.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. It'll be interesting. Do I hug him or do I shake his hand? Right? Because like we're kind of brothers, right? In this, I don't know.
Yeah, he's a hugger.
Bro hug. Yeah. I kind of thought so too. So I'll bring him a kilt.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, we had a conversation. Take care.
See ya.
Yep.
I am Matt DeRozier of FarmHopLife. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and visit FarmHopLife.com.
Inside of the city, the people are crazy, out of their minds, they ain't got a clue. We gone away, headed west for Montana, left family and friends, all I got now is you. We both got new jobs, a house and a homestead, thinking this was the life, all that there'd be. After our firstborn, you had to stay home. That's when the work got in the way for me. Well, I started FarmHopLife. We'll come to your farm to help and to wander. Me and the family, a truck and an RV. Send us a message